So I'm in Glastonbury 2025 on a Sunday on the Genosys Stage in Block9, as I thought I would document the subarray that I designed and have deployed under here, which is pretty special and not conventional at all. So we've got 12 Martin Audio SSH 218s all the way along, 12 of them, deployed in an end-fire gradient array. And basically I had to choose end fire because I chose end fire, not cardioid, because I wanted to maximize the power going forward and minimize any power coming back, because obviously you can see we are right underneath the set, and that is a stage, and it's live, it's layer deck, and any cardioid effects would go up into the floor because we are not in front of the stage, we're underneath it. So I chose end fire to try and minimize anything going up. So if you see in here, this stage is very specific, it's particular in that if you see pictures of it, the DJ booth, which is here, sits in front of the front plane of the stage. You can see the front grills here where these subs are, and you can see that when we get to here, it actually goes out and back. So the problem was I had to work out a way of putting the sub in front of the DJ, or as far forward from the DJ, so they weren't behind the subarray. Because if you stand up there and there's the line, you're actually right in front of a lot of sub happening, which is not good for having double A's, A-list celebrity DJs playing, A-list DJs playing, and all the rest, because it would be bad. It would not be pleasant at all. So I had to work out a way of putting the sub as far forward as possible, delay that back to this back line, so then essentially this whole array is then coupled 35 centimeters apart consistently across the length. And then I had to come up with a way of making it better for the DJ, because obviously we're still in a pattern here of horrible low end. It would be not good. So I looked at end firing here and here and on the other side to create a null in the middle here using display 3, and I also used the GLL files on ease focus because they are also accurate to model what would happen when you apply the end fires at the end of the array, these two, and you couple it with the one in the middle. And what happens is in the middle here, the 50 to 60 hertz actually is reduced by minus 12 to minus 18, depending what frequency it is, just here, just in this area here, which you would not expect given that there's an end fire sub here going into the back of there, because usually when you have a normal end fire, that sub would summate into that one, so you'd have energy here and it just goes forward and cancels out the back. So this would be just as loud as a sub going forward, but with these here and over the other side, it actually cancels just under here. And by doing that, I can keep a consistent power sub at the front, a null underneath the DJ, and we've also managed to keep the spacings correct. So that this sub here, you can see there's a gap that is 35 centimeters apart here, but just a meter forward. And then what I did also had to look at was, because obviously you're standing over the DJ, the sub is underneath the DJ directly at this point, we had to look at some flooring. So what we did is, this is a small sort of sample, and we found some AstroTurf foam. There you go, you can see on the angle it's open pore AstroTurf rubber. Someone had some tiles from a studio or somewhere, so we've screwed 12 of these to the floor of the DJ booth, and you can see they've got a bit of less surface area because of that square, so actually there's less stuff sitting on the ground. That reduces the amount of sub that can travel through the floor. And then on top of this, we've got a bar mat, the ring bar mats you see in bars everywhere. We've got one of those is rubber, which has got even more of a less of a surface area. So the sub has to travel through the floor, this, and then the rubber on top, and that decreases the amount of sub that's coming up through the floor enough so the DJ up here is comfortable with standing directly over a SSH 218 when it's going full tilt. It's kind of cool and kind of crazy at the same time, but I thought I would document it because it's the first time I've deployed an end-fire gradient underneath a stage in Glasgow, which seems to be working quite well as far as I can tell. Yeah.